You are listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mario Mukonda. Between the 25 and 25 November and 10 December, we commemorate and celebrate the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. It used to be, well, it is against no violence of women and children, but I think it's more befitting to say against gender-based violence because anyone can be a victim of gender-based violence. And it seems like there is a new form of gender-based violence, which is done through the net, through cyberbullying. Ambassador Mehreen Mia Cassimjee is here to talk about cyberbullying and how it's linked to gender-based violence. Mehreen is the UN Global Goodwill Ambassador in humanitarianism, the SA Ambassador, Ladies of All Nations International UK. She's the CEO and founder of the MEA company. She's a multiple global accolade winner, including being one of the top 100 women in business in the world, and so much more to her name. She is joining me on the line. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh,
Walaikum
Sister
salam wa
Mehreen, and
rahmatullahi wa
shukran for
barakatuh.
joining me.
Dr. Mariam, jazakallah so much for having me.
Alhamdulillah. I hope you feel better
Alhamdulillah,
today.
let me just ask
So, Sister Mehreen,
in advance,
you've had an
just
absolute.
from
Yes.
okay, I can hear you now. Sorry, I couldn't hear you for a
All
while.
right.
Now I can hear you clearly.
All right. Okay. Perfect. So you've had an absolutely tragic incident in net not so long ago. Can you tell us a little about the cyberbullying incident?
Sure, horrific is actually an understatement. This was a lady known to my husband. I know to a few of his family members. No, I don't know her personally. But she had taken to go to people that don't know us at all and give off to them a story claiming that she is come out of she's come out now as a GBV warrior. She did come out and orchestrated this to come through in the 16 days of activism, so her finding was well orchestrated. And in her story that she put out to people and that went out on social media platforms, and when I say went out, I mean it went viral. It was quite gruesome. It was vile. It was attacked on my husband being an alleged abuser of her, and et cetera, et cetera. And then they obviously then posted majority of the stuff against me as well on all of my platforms to say that I am should be discredited. I obviously stand for GBV, but I'm a hypocrite, etc. So I was called every name under the sun. And then, of course, I had multiple GBV activists themselves come out against me without actually finding out any details. There was hacking of our emails, personal data, hacking and creating of email addresses to make it appear as though we were talking. And these emails were put up on public platforms. And people, again, didn't look to read email addresses. They merely read content. And if anybody took the liberty before sharing, before making it go viral, try to actually ascertain who the people are that are being attacked, you will know we don't even speak in that kind of language, leave alone text in that way. So it was really horrible. That's just the gist of it right now. It is a legal matter. I've engaged with the Hawks unit. I've engaged with the South African Police Services, their forensics team, and an attorney, because enough is literally enough at this time. This is not the first time. This is more than the first time that this has happened to me personally, to my family. And each time, Sister Mary, what we do is we just brush it on the carpet and just keep going. People attack you. They threatened me. I would have people send me anonymous messages from weird SIM card numbers that I don't know. I've had people claim that they're coming to collect the hamper. For example, when I go out, they throw bricks at me. I've had people make up posters with my picture on it saying I scammed, etc., etc. It was a horrific couple of years thus far. But each time it happened, I just sat back and I left it and I said, you know what, I need to just pursue myself and stay in my lane. But this is one time when I saw the reactions coming from people, and I am someone who's very, very anti-GBV, etc., etc. I just couldn't sit back and leave it. And I felt it's about time I take a stand, not just for myself, because I counsel, as you know, there's multiple stuff that I do. And one of the things is to counsel people. And I've counseled many, a family that was about to break down because of social media and cyberbullying. I've had kids that were suicidal because of cyberbullying. I've had businesses closing down because they were cyberbullied. It's just a whole level of different kinds of violence happening against people. So my husband and I decided, you know what, it's time to actually take a stand. And the law, we do have the law. Let's just use the law and try and take down whoever now is guilty. And that's where we're at the moment. I did have a foundation where I was given a nominee for an award. And this lady had one of her people contact this foundation to say to them, for example, do you know that these are allegations against her and her husband going on social media? And without them investigating for themselves or speaking to me, I had received a message from them to merely say to me, please can we withdraw you from this until this whole thing gets cleaned up, and we don't want you near our brand, so to speak. They're not in those exact words, but that's what it was. And for me, the problem is that I don't do anything for an award. Alhamdulillah, the accolades and the awards come from Allah itself because the niyat is pure. But for you to, as a foundation, to take a stance against me without asking for proof or investigating for or even talking to me, and taking a third person's word over mine, whom you know, and I'm globally on plenty of platforms. People know me around the world. Take the time to find out. But for you to take the judgment stance and say, you're already against this and this is how we feel, for me was not fair, because they came to me and said, can you come with proof against those allegations? And my only counter question was, did you ask the person who called you for proof about the allegation itself? So it was really horrific, but we're praying, inshallah, that Allah will make the perpetrators fall, and truth must prevail, inshallah.
I mean, I'm sorry that this has happened to you, and you're only one person. There are many, many others who
Yes.
this is happening to every single day, and they don't know where to turn to and who to turn to. Now, what has your personal experience taught you, and why do you think it is closely linked to gender-based violence?
In many ways, why I say it's linked to GBV is because GBV, my stance to GBV is a 365, 24/7 matter.
Yeah,
As much as we have the 16 days, we need to push for more awareness because our numbers are ridiculously
definitely.
high. But this whole episode has taken GBV for me personally to another level, and I'm trying now to create an awareness into how we deal with GBV matters. This was someone who just made up a whole lot of stuff about what they assumed and took pics from here and there from the internet, and really was able to, she was able to pursue this to a point where people believed her without question. And if you go back to all of us who are activists, we actually take the word of the person in front of us for granted, and we help them and we try and push forward. But this woman came out and targeted a man, my husband, of course. But remember, I'm not saying this purely because he's my husband. I'm saying GBV right now, there are multiple men out there who are also being attacked, who aren't being attacked, who aren't being abused. They are children. Abuse of any form is now a problem. But the reason I link it closely here is because this is the whole reverse of GBV. This is somebody who was never violent, and there was no violence ever perpetrated on her. The details given were totally fabricated and lies. The pictures that were posted, my God, these pictures were posted on Facebook. And when I saw the one picture, for example, I was flabbergasted purely because I had viewed that in a workshop that I did for GBV 2 years ago. So I saw it, immediately knew this is a downloaded picture of the net. So I'm saying, as activists out there, you guys were quick to attack me, or quick to attack my husband, but did you not, as an activist, take a clearer stance and take a step back in terms of how do you investigate to know whether this is even the woman in itself, whether this is actually a picture of her? Do you know what she even looks like? No. So the spread of the cyberbullying and the whole GBV thing was an attack on a male, attack on his spouse, which is me, totally innocent, but fabricated stories, fabricated and downloaded images. And it took GBV's activists really long time to realize, oh my God, we've actually been duped here. And I'm saying we need to now relook at the GBV stance, because yes, there are multiple issues on a daily basis, but are we really looking at it the way we're supposed to? Because we're so quick to just become hyped and react, because that's what we're built to do. We're built to do that, especially we react when it's another sister who comes up innocently with all of her stories. But do we actually realize or think twice? And This is where this GBV link comes in. Now you have to actually, this woman has now created a hype, and now it makes us all have to step back and take, a double step back and sit to think and re-question a genuine victim. Because now you're going to have a genuine victim sitting in front of you, and you can actually think twice to believe in her word because of somebody who made up lies the way this woman had. So now it just really was, it's a very sad thing. But what this was for me was an attack and a violation, literally, on people's lives, my life personally. But I'm just saying, I'm taking a stand now for multiple people out there who are affected by this and are violated in this way, with this, the way this goes viral on social media.
Well, it's true when you say that because of such allegations, such false allegations and accusations, it becomes difficult for us to believe, or we'll tend to question a genuine case. And unfortunately, this is happening a lot. We find it difficult to believe people who come out and say this has happened to me because of such unfortunate cases. Now, what is this new initiative you have about gender-based violation?
It's very closely linked to GBV as the violence, but it's based on what we've just experienced now. This for me was a total violation of me as a person. It was a violation of my character. It was a violation of what I stand for. It was a violation of my privacy, a violation of our lifestyle, violation of my husband's reputation. And each time, I want people out there to remember, and I'm going to make this something to talk about more often even in the new year. Even if you make a call to somebody to degrade them and belittle them, and whatever your mean of gossip, whatever your mean is, remember, you are actually violating someone's space. You're violating someone's credibility. You are violating someone, and this in his absolute wisdom is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us to stop and avoid every type of gossip and making up of stuff about other people. Because this is a violation of a person, and you have no right to violate someone. And us as innocent people should not have to tolerate this kind of violation on ourselves. And the reason I say gender-based violation, Mehreen, is because, and people might, shoot me down for saying this, but look out there, and how often is it that we find that it is actually not mere male to female or female to male violation only. It's actually female to female violation. It's male to male, brother to brother, sister to sister. It's family within family violating each other. It is us who just refuse to allow for a fellow sister to come up. We just refuse to allow for other people to live happily. We just continuously want to bring a fellow sister or a fellow brother down. Why? And this is rife. It is all around us. We just don't want to talk about it. Why? I don't know. But it's creating toxicity. And that toxicity creates that violation. And that is where we have to take a stand and say, no more to violations at all. Because we deserve better, and Allah does not wish for this.
You speak of the root cause and the effects of this violation. What do you mean when it victimization, especially?
If you have to look at the stance that I've taken now, victimization is exactly what we've just experienced. I've experienced it. When I talk about me, I don't want to talk for my husband, but he was obviously a victim of this as well, and on a horrible level. But this was actual victimization which we've experienced. Now remember, when you are a GBV activist, as far as we know, you work with these kind of things as well. What do? We go in at a point where there's already a scene, there's already something that's happened, there's already a victim. And so we deal as activists with what is an effect of something. And I'm saying we need to relook at that, and rather we need to be activists of the cause. What exactly has caused that? What exactly makes people do that? And start to look and stop, get preventative measures in place as opposed to merely dealing with a consequence that's there for us to deal with. And that's where the cause and effect thing would come in when it comes to actual violation and victimization. We want to try and avoid victims nowadays. We need people to become empowered enough to see the telltale signs of something happening before it actually happens. We don't want you to become a victim and it's that. We want you to rather be somebody who sees these things. These are the signs. This is what I can do, and these are my preventative measures. And that's the dealing with the cause.
Mm-hmm. And Sister Mehreen, what are your parting words for us all out there who join and support your fight, and also us who go through this as well?
Sister Mariam, if there's one thing I should say is this was the most trying episode because it came at an awful time for me. I had just lost my father, he was my king, and I'm an only child because it took a toll on me physically after losing him.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just suffered a mild stroke as well. So when this happened, I was in recovery of that. And of course, there's a lot that goes on with losing of a parent. There's a lot that goes on with business, with the halt, etc. But all of this happened, and then you have the attack mode, and I had people actually try to threaten me, etc. Um, it just makes you really look at things and life and appreciate certain things and certain people. Because one thing you realize is when you're going through stuff like this, especially via social media, you realize who your true people are, and who are true enough to actually stand with you in a crisis like this when the whole world is actually against you. Now, of course, the stance that is, okay, we shouldn't have done this, or we shouldn't have shared, or suddenly there's a cleanup operation all over cyberspace, and you can't find a trace of A, B, and C. Why didn't you actually take the time out to even call or talk or ask before you went up on social media? The people that didn't know us, because obviously she did. But at the end of the day, I just want to say to everybody that remember, each one of us is given a gift, and that is your gift of life. Allah has
Mm-hmm.
given you this gift, and He, in His ultimate wisdom, knows what is best for you. And nowhere does He say that you need to allow anyone to belittle you, to be your violator, because we don't deserve that. We deserve far better. Yes, you endure trial after trial. Yes, you endure much hardship. Everything is not easy. We know what we're going through in terms of this COVID and the pandemic and what it's cost us all, business-wise, what it's cost us all, lives-wise, people that we've lost, loved ones, etc. There's so much else happening. We need to deal with so much of negativity. Do we actually need more violators to make us victims? No. So we need to take back the power and the control of our lives, of us as a gift, because that is the gift from Allah. And Allah has given you the power to actually take back control of you. Because as soon as we succumb, Sister Mariam, to the state of victimization, if this victimization that happened to me had to actually make me succumb to it, then what would have happened to me? I would have actually just given the power to the violator, and I would have just fed and fueled the violation even more. So no, we have got to be able to say no. We have measures in place. I have the power over me, and Allah is, in His truth, is going to stand with me. So if you are somebody who is a violator, I say to you, stop, because you yourself need help. Take the help and go and get yourself sorted. Do not take somebody else's life into your hands because it's not your right. If you are somebody being violated, please know that you need to stay true to you. Stay true to Allah and stay true because the truth has to prevail. And in that truth is where you will find success in your life journey, inshallah. So we make dua, inshallah, to imagine that so many people in the world, that Allah makes it easy for them because, as much as this is difficult for me, I know many who have gone through far worse. And we just make dua, inshallah, that Allah gives us strength to persevere in our goals to make positive changes in people's lives, inshallah.
I mean, Jazakallah so much for your time, Sister Mehreen, and for sharing your story with us. For those who may not have known what had happened to you, now they at least have a better idea. And the truth shall come to light if it has not yet. And I just hope that everything, the truth is revealed. And well, I also think that people should be named and shamed, just as we want people, violators, to be named. Those who falsely accused should also be named and shamed. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you well in your recovery and going ahead as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair to everybody, and we make dua, inshallah, Allah grant all Mehreen Mia Cassimjee and beloved father, Mehreen Mia Cassimjee, Firdous. And Allah make it easy for my mom at the difficult time as well. And we ask Allah to keep every one of us safe in every form and in every way, inshallah. Jazakallah again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Renowned motivational speaker, Mehreen Mia Cassimjee talking about her experience with cyberbullying and how it's linked to gender-based violence. We've come to the end of the broadcast for today. And if you have any further comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please leave them in the comments section or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. Let me love and leave you guys. From myself, Mehreen Mokwanda, and the Salam Media team, have a wonderful, restful, and peaceful holiday. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.